Welcome to Digitally Matters, a podcast for anything digital that matters to you and your business. I'm your host, Ray Baguio. In today's episode, I am joined by Ms. Jennette Cajucom. She's the editor for visuals and community and engagement for Marketing in Asia. Jen shares not only how Marketing in Asia is using its platform to highlight brands and communities in the region, but she also shares how she manages her time by following a simple routine. Oh, and she also revealed some names of people who are responsible for her having constant sources of inspiration to keep her going. Okay, now let's jump in and listen to the conversation. Tell us more about you and what you do, Jay.
Sure. Yeah, first things first, I want to thank you. Thank you, Ray, for this opportunity. Yeah, I've actually listened to a few of your episodes already, and I
Thank
do
you.
really find it engaging.
Thank
So, yes, about me. Yeah, my name is Jennette Cajucom, but friends call me JC or Jen. So aside from being the editor for visuals in marketing in Asia, I am also a CEO branding strategist.
you.
Yes, but before I became a CEO branding strategist, I've actually worked as a digital marketer for several clients for over 12 years now. Although right now I focus more on the local clients. I've also been doing digital marketing workshops until this pandemic happened, which is why I'm now more focused on coaching my CEO clients.
Okay.
Yeah, although initially I thought of attracting just CEOs and business owners who gravitate towards the thought of building a more authentic and a more human centric brand. Eventually, I received all sorts of inquiries from freelancers to financial advisors asking if I can help them as well with their personal brand.
Mm.
It turns out that they've heard me talking either at an event or in a webinar, and they share the same values and beliefs that I have, which is, value mindset over money mindset. And I do love helping people craft their brand story
Mhm.
and more than actually more than having the opportunity. I mean, because basically they're giving me the upper hand to put their story into words. So it's more than that. It's really the fact that they've given me the trust to be part of their journey, and in most cases they would even take me back to how everything began for them, their humble beginnings, their aha moments, and even the times when they struggled, when they thought that they were already failing um at the time when they were doing things to build something for themselves. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Can you tell us more about marketing in Asia?
Yeah, marketing in Asia. I mean, more than just an online magazine. We're really a distribution platform, as as our founder would say it. We're like the YouTube in Asia. That's how he would call it. In a way, we're YouTube for Asia.
Mm.
In although we're not just about videos, because with YouTube, when you post your content, specifically your videos on YouTube, the content I think is still yeah, part of them parang they own it ba, parang ganon. But in our case, you put your content on Marketing in Asia, whether it's article, it's your podcast or your infographic or even slides. We accept slides right now.
Mm.
The ownership, I mean, still remains to you. Sa'yo pa rin yon. And basically, the advocacy, there's an advocacy behind it, because for the most part, you'll see that we do highlight people, because that's what we want to do, because we believe that um, we may, I mean, English may not be our first language, being, being Asian people, but we have so much value to give. And one of the reasons actually why I accepted the appointment as editor, because I was just originally a contributor. And then when Aslin reached out to me, when we both found out that our goals are aligned, he wanted to put, Asian people in the spotlight. And on my end, I wanted to put more Filipinos in the Asian spotlight, specifically, business owners, marketers, and even the average Joes. We're actually talking specifically about average Joes and average Janes who really have something to say, but just don't have the voice, or don't have the platform so that their voice can be heard. So that's where marketing in Asia comes in. And right now we actually have a lot of plans, because at the onset you might it might not come off that we're really community driven. So we want to tell the world now that we are really community driven, because when you go to our site, you'd see, big corporate brands, but really we really want to highlight people. And because of that, we're um, there are a lot of um, projects, experiments in the pipeline, so that, we could we could serve our target audience, the whole of Asia, that is.
Actually, as you were describing what marketing in Asia is and what it's all about, I can't help but still see you in it. I mean, it just makes sense that your advocacy is to encourage people to establish their own brands, so to have their own voices heard and to be relevant to their audience, and highlight themselves, highlight their strengths, whatever weaknesses they have, to be authentic. And
Yes.
apparently, marketing is in Asia is also driven to have such similar advocacy. So it makes sense to me now why you got this job, or why you even considered this position with marketing in Asia.
Yes, to be honest, it was, this role of marketing in Asia was never at the back of my mind. I was, I was just really happy in my own corner. I mean, specifically on my own social media accounts. And then for some reason, no, we have this small community on LinkedIn. And when the founder announced that, they'll be having they'll be announcing the new editor soon. For some reason, the local community that I'm a part of, they were already making some guesses, and my name was the one, was one of those that came up. And I really had no clue back then, until I already received that call from the founder. I guess, I mean, it the saying really holds true, that, you attract what you believe in, you attract who you are. And even if that was the first time that I met our founder back then, it was a call over WhatsApp, actually. And then, things just started falling into place. And it's really amazing how the universe works, actually.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm a believer of that too. Just aim for what you really want, and especially if you're passionate about it, then things will fall into place. Even when you least expect it, right? It just fall into place.
True.
And
Actually, I do remember, the initial, conversations that we had back then. It was, one of those conversations when, I also felt that, we believed in the same things. We adhere to similar values as well.
now, how do you manage your time? Do you follow certain rules or principles or routines, perhaps?
You know what? It's funny because I'm actually a product of Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. It was a training that my former employer had me attend back in 2004. And while I do believe in what was taught in that training about categorizing the your deliverables or the task that you're supposed to do according to its urgency and importance. It's easier. It's easier said than done. And at the onset, yes, you'll try because as they say, it takes 21 days. It takes 21 days to form a habit, diba? But then even if you've passed that 21 that phase, the 3 week phase or 21 days, for some reason you'll still go back to the old ways because there are external factors involved, unexpected factors, stress also comes into play. And then eventually um I realized that I should follow first a routine before I go into the tools. So I still, I still, believe in, prioritizing according to, whether if a task is important and urgent, or urgent but not important, or not urgent and not important at all. But this time, especially during this pandemic,
Okay.
this time I incorporated that sort of joy factor. Alam mo yun? It's something that I just experimented myself. Um, so every morning, because what happens when I follow the old ways, doing a task based on its urgency and importance, the joy only comes in once I've completed all of the tasks.
Okay.
Ganon. Kasi 'di ba when I feel a sense of accomplishment eh. So syempre, joy follows after that. But then I don't want it to be that way. I don't want to feel joy at the end of the day. I want to feel joy at the start of the day. Well, yeah, I could program myself once in a while to motivate myself para there's joy at the start of the day. But then I can only last for so long. So what I started doing was, especially during this pandemic, was I started to do the things first, yung those that give me joy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
ganon. So those that give me joy. So since we're working from home right now, everybody's locked down. So it's a combination of my work with my clients, my work with marketing in Asia, and also work of my chores here at home. And so simple things like if I want to bake bread, I know it takes quite a while to finish baking a bread. It takes at least a couple of hours.
Mhm.
So even if it takes that long, I start with that first because it gives me joy. Because it gives me joy. So
Mhm.
parang it gives me joy in the sense that I'm not the only one affected by the completion of that task, because after I bake bread, I give it to people eh. I mean, it's just me. I give it to people. So dahil masaya ako, binigyan ko na sila ng bread after baking. Okay, sige, I'll do my stuff now for marketing in Asia. I'm happy now. So for some reason, bumibilis. I get things done faster because I'm happy. I'm happier. And then, so yun. So parang nasusustain ko yung joy na yun because I was able to do something for others first. So yun, that's my routine. Yun. I don't know if that's weird, but yeah, that's no. So the
I-
secret is out now.
Do you also use certain tools or apps personally
Yeah.
so to manage your time?
Yes, I do. And it's funny because when I started working remotely, I've had a lot of tools, especially during the advent, when it was just the start of Web 2.0. A lot of apps are out there that you just want to get your hands on them. And then I mean there was even Zapier, there was even
I,
IFTT. Of course, there's Trello, there's Asana. But
yes.
then I don't know. I guess it goes with the age that I'm starting to become a minimalist now.
Oh,
So so I just actually keep three, and these are the the really common ones. And it's, I mean, if it works for me, then yeah, I retain it. So it's just basically, Google Calendar, then my the S Note on my tab, because I always bring my tab whenever I have something, whenever something comes up, I write. I don't, tap with my fingers. I really write with my with the stylus, because it I believe that the old way, of writing increases the retention. And then
yes.
also mind maps. I'm a mind map freak, and
Okay.
every time, I do remember that whenever I would have a meeting with the team on marketing in Asia, and I would tell my boss Aslin that I'd be showing him my mind map. He'd go like, no, don't, I'll leave that to you, because he knows that my mind map would go haywire and he wouldn't understand it.
Okay.
So yeah, so there, those are my three go-to tools.
Can you tell us or share with us people you look up to or people who inspire and motivate you to be at your best?
Ah, I have a lot actually, but those on top of my head right now. I mean, locally here in the Philippines, there's Virginia Bautista, of course.
I knew it.
Yeah, Virginia Bautista and Gina Romero, since I'm host for the Connected Women here in Zambales. And of course, you. I do remember that the first time I uprooted myself. The first time I talked to you was on my earlier years, when I after I uprooted myself here in Subic from Manila.
Oh,
You were the one of the first people that I talked to, and you said a lot of things. I don't know if I can say it on air, but you said a few things that really stuck with me.
really?
And yes, yes,
Okay.
I think I'm allowed to say it on air. I think I'm allowed to say it on air. Yeah, I do remember you telling me now, when you encouraged me to to put value through my content. You said back then that people know crap. I
Yeah.
remember you saying that people know crap. And and yes, I do resonate with that, because I myself, sometimes when I read content, for some reason, if even if I know the person, I could somehow sense, how come I feel that there is a disconnect between
Yes.
the content that this person posted,
True.
when I try to see his profile, things like that. So I'm not really sure. So it was then when I became really, it was then when I started to become more intentional, and it led me to follow the right people. I mean, with the same values as mine, who believe in the same things that I do. So there, you were one of the first few people who gave me a good head start, actually.
Thank.
So yeah, thank you.
Well, can you tell us more about not me, but Virginia or Gina? I know these people, and l- I want others who might be listening to this to know why they inspire you or motivate you.
Yeah, Virginia. I reached out to her because I wanted at first to attend a LinkedIn local event.
Mm.
And then I found out, since it was not, I mean, Manila is 4 to 5 hours away from Subic, or where I'm based. I learned that I can become a host here in Subic, and since I learned that Virginia is from, from the same region. She's also from Region 3.
Mm.
So I got the chance to invite her, also with Jeffrey Manhilot,
Yes.
because yeah, he once in a while he goes home also here in Region 3.
Mhm.
And then it was then when I learned a lot of insights. I learned a lot about giving value. And I guess if there's one thing in common between Gina and Virginia, it's the value of giving. Both of them are like that. They advocate about building relationships. They advocate about establishing trust. They really advocate about giving value in general. And now that I'm talking about giving value, those who are not from the Philippines that I also look up to name a few. Of course, Asleen, our founder in marketing in Asia, Simon Sinek, of course, Adam Grant, Mark Schaefer, the author of Marketing Rebellion, and Nella Donato. Nella Donato is an author from Croatia, and she's the author of a book she wrote called The Human Centered Brand, and also Tony Zambito, who he's one of the thought leaders of human centered marketing, also about giving. So yeah, so there. Yep. I think Tony Zambito, their websites are named after
Okay.
their name. So it's tonyzambito.com, TonyZambito. Then Simon Sinek, of course. Yeah, I think he has a website which he named after himself, simonsinek.com.
Yeah.
And yeah, Nella Donato as well, Neladunato.
Okay.
Yeah, neladonato.com.
Okay.
So yeah.
Jen, this is my last question, and this is based on what you just mentioned. How do you consider value? When do you say that the content or the person is giving value to their audience?
Simply put, I mean, I guess in general, and this is also what I've shared recently. If I may just isingit ko lang, if I may just squeeze it in. This is also what I have shared with educators right now who are in the process of doing digital transformation so that they can do flexible, blended, or e-learning because of this pandemic. I mean, since they are producing content, um, they need to they need to craft content from scratch. Some of them actually. I
Mhm.
mean, I remember telling them that uh, if they're familiar, I mean, they should get themselves acquainted with the expression "always be marketing." And when you say always be marketing, you should be able to know what your target audience is going through, what their pain points are, because only then, if you are able to address their pain points, only then will they find your content of value. I guess we always go back to basics, whether we're doing branding, whether we're doing marketing, whether I mean if it's not really specific um, to what they need, to what they're going through, to what they need to be immediately addressed, and you'd only be able to know that if you really get to know them on a deeper level, on a human level, even, 'di ba? So I think that I guess is the only way to know if what you're giving out there is really of value, because I may feel that uh, what I'm giving to my audience of value, but then I would only be able to validate that if I get to know them on a deeper level. I mean, specifically mean how what are your challenges. I mean, probably ask questions like, what are your challenges at the moment, what goals do you want to reach. I mean, how can I help you to get from point A to point B, parang ganon, yung ganon ka specific dapat. Exactly. I mean, I may work 10 hours, or I may work sleepless nights coming up with the content, but if it doesn't get you from point A to point B, I wouldn't find that valuable myself.
Okay. Well, for people and brands who would want to get in touch with you, they want to get your services, or they want to partner up or be featured or or contribute to marketing in Asia, how can they reach you?
I actually do. one-on-one coaching with CEOs. And actually, I'm currently I'll be launching my free 30-day coaching on personal branding and thought leadership, and that's on June 22. They can, if they want to know more details on that, they can visit my website. That's jencajucom.asia, or email me at freeconsult@jencahukum.asia. And then with regards to, thank you, by the way, Ray, for allowing me to promote this. With regards to marketing in Asia, for those companies who have events, if you want to be featured, or if you want to promote your brand, I mean, let's do this. Visit us at marketinginasia.com. If you also want to put content out there, where right now we're already accepting Filipino articles. So if you want to establish yourself as a thought leader in your respective industry, you can send it or upload your content to marketinginasia.com/write for us.
So that wraps up our show. That's it for now, and thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you'll join me again here on Digitally Matters. This has been Ray Baguio. Until next time, ciao.